Welcome back, everyone. So what got our attention tonight is a crisis rocking the APC, the All Progressives Congress. Is a party in the control of power at the center in Nigeria. So the party has a lot of internal troubles where the man appointed by the president to resolve all of these crises is in fact having problem with the man at the helm of the affairs of the party, who in fact is supreme in the affairs of the party. The president or the leader of the party, or the chairman, the national chairman of the party, or some of the leaders. So there's been a lot of conflicts of interest in all of these issues. Let's get back to the conversation. Tonight I have the benefit of the experience of a senior journalist in Nigeria, a senior editor and columnist with the Guardian newspaper, Mr. Martins Oloja, and also in our Abuja studio is a political commentator, Mr. Olubunmi Tunjiojo. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time on the program. Let me allow you some more time to talk about this, Mr. Ojo. With what is on the table now, it looks so much that there might be some crises. Perhaps a lot of people in the party, leaders of the party, are talking about a change in leadership of the party. Do you see that happening anytime soon?
Well, thank you very much, Sheon. I was saying something the other time. As a Nigerian, I'm more concerned about the effect, not just on the party, but on governance. That's the generality of Nigerians. You know, I key into what Mr. Onoja had said, which is very key. You know, all these are fallouts of our democratic development. You know, in other countries, in other norms, we know the party structure is quite different from the governance structure. But in Nigeria, we have a situation where we have both working together as one. But my major concern now is that we fail to learn from history. You know, we know what happened to PDP in year 2014. PDP was a strong party. I could remember as at that time, a particular leader of PDP was boasting that they were going to rule for 60 years, that the party was going to rule for 60 years. But we know that when there was this sort of division, we knew what happened to the party. I know APC cannot go in that way. I'm optimistic anyway as a Nigerian, as a lover of this country, as a lover of the administration. I hope we will not go in that way. But my main worry, which is what is most important to me now, which every Nigerian, all Nigerians must really be concerned about, is the fact that if this continues, what effect does it have on governance? We have so many challenges going on at this moment. And to me, I see this as distraction. You know, all this internal fighting here and there, to me, they are just distracting, they are distractions of no means value. That's the way I see these things. Because we have security issues that we're combating with, we have economic issues, we have so many issues. And for a party, as a party, we have elections coming up next year, just about 11 months away or 11 months away, we have an election coming up, you know. So is this what we really need at this particular point in time? The answer is no. Okay. Now, how do we get to the
just
point?
A moment. Let's allow Mr. Oloja to coming into some of these issues also. If you look at the history and perhaps the path of Chief Oyegun in coming into the arms of affair in the APC, you might not be able to take the influence of people like Tinubu away from him coming into power as the chairman of the party. The question is, where did they get it? Where did the fight start? And again, where do you see these ending?
Well, you know, it just as it is written in the ancient word that when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? You see, it began when the government itself was inaugurated, National Assembly inaugurated leadership of the National Assembly and all those things like that. The president was not interested in who would become the chairman of the joint session of the National Assembly, as we normally call the Senate president. He's the chairman of the joint session. And the speaker is the deputy, the speaker of the House is the deputy chairman of the joint session of the National Assembly, as they are rightly called. You know, since that time, they have not been having who is in charge of the ruling party's caucus at the National Assembly. Who has been meeting there? Look at the number of candidates that they have now that they cannot confirm. The EFCC acting chairman was nominated in 2015, has not been confirmed. been rejected twice. And so many things like that, just like you talk to a lady, whether it's in a relationship or are you married, or she tells you it is complicated. That is the way it is at the moment.
The relationship of the APC is complicated?
It's complicated.
Do you see this ending? Because look, the kind of ending that this might have, because Bola Tinubu is asking, and this is his request. He said, thus in furtherance of the assignment given to me by President Buhari, I request that you make available to me the status report and all the pertinent information regarding the state chapters without further delay. And he ended his letter to say, to lessen animosity and return the party to the path of internal democracy and openness, I beg that you refrain from taking any more improper unilateral decisions with regard to the national and state chapters of the party. Where do you see all of this?
You know, they say it's complicated. Complicated in the sense that is the chairman of the party. That an ad hoc committee of reconciliation set up by the president is dictating and is talking authoritatively to the constituted authority. It means that the House is divided against itself. The House doesn't want others to respect them because that is the chairman of the party. He has not been removed. If they remove him tomorrow, is another thing. But we think that they should be more resourceful in settling some of these issues, because crisis in an election year like this has consequences. Consequences.
Mr. Oloja, let me allow Mr. Tunji Ojo to give us 30 seconds of his final word on the program. Where do you think this is going to end? Or perhaps I should ask, what do you think is the solution in 30 seconds so that we can end the program?
Well, thank you, Sheon. I think the solution to the problem basically is for Mr. President, which I know has started with the meeting of today. You know, I'm not privileged to the details of the meeting, but of course, it's not rocket science. I think that the Mr. President will have started by trying to work behind the scene of bringing the party chairman who, as Mr. Oloja said, is a constituted authority within the party. We can't take that away from him. As long as he's chairman of the party, nobody can take that away from him. So the president has a major role to play, which I want to assume he has started in terms of bringing both him and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the leader of the party, together. So basically, once you know, politics is something that you play mostly behind the scene.
We must leave it at that.
Come on the front of.
Because of our time. Thank you so much, Mr. Olubomi Tunji Ojo. Thank you for your time on the program. And also a senior editor and columnist at the Guardian newspaper, Mr. Martin Oloja. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your interventions on the program tonight. And that's our show for tonight. Many thanks for being part of it. I'm Sean Wakimbaloe. We'll be back on Sunday at 8 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.